Planning for Charles's coronation began 2 decades ago, but since then, for obvious reasons, many adjustments have been made. But due to the constant difficulties, it's a grandiose case on a global scale. Charles himself has not yet decided on the final version of the ceremony, but there is only a month left before the appointed date. And now the sources say that all thoughts of the 74-year-old king are occupied only with the coronation, as to convey to the world public the idea of greatness of the British monarchy, but not to slip into an irrelevant theatre show with mothballed costumes. Not an easy thing to do. Speaking of costumes, sources say that the clothing issue is still unresolved. The courtiers believe it would be inappropriate to create the image of a modern monarchy by taking the oath in velvet pantaloons and stockings. However, no alternative has yet been found, both for the king and for the queen, who has not yet decided whether to be crowned in one of her mourning gowns, or to sew a new one. Of course, it is out of the question to take one of her dresses to the dry cleaners for the sake of the ascension to the throne. Merlot and dog hair are very hard to remove, and the family diamonds will not shine so brightly on the old outfit. Sources claim that Kate has decided to make concessions to the consort queen and forego the tiara altogether in order to look restrained. But this seems strange. Won't the dress code be different for everyone, and everyone will be allowed to decide for themselves whether to show up in a hat, a charmeuse or a tiara? So this is also an issue the organizers have yet to sort out. Then there was the problem of the attributes of the royal symbols. Camilla's crown, that is, the crown of the previous queen consort, Elizabeth Bowes-Lyon, has already been restored and replaced by scandalous Indian diamond Koh-i-Noor with diamonds Cullinan from Elizabeth's collection, but with a scepter all the more complicated. The press reports that since the scepter is made of ivory, William, as an ardent defender of elephants and an opponent of ivory mining, resisted Camilla's use of the monarch's attribute. Allegedly, Camilla had to meet him halfway and give up the scepter. I wonder how that would help the elephant, who gave up his bone 300 years ago. Maybe then they should give up diamonds, because mining them disturbs the environment, and they should also give up the throne, because deforestation also destroys nature. The left will always find something to complain about. It's hard to please everyone, and no one knows this better than the future King William. There is also something strange going on with the invitations. First, the elite of British music have refused to sing for the new king. Adele, Robbie Williams, Elton John, Harry Styles, Ed Sheeran, the Spice Girls, and Kylie Minogue have refused to participate, and piano experts are already joking that if this continues, the coronation concert will feature forgotten bands of the last century and the clown that Kate hires for children's parties. Meanwhile, US President Joe Biden also refused to come. Well, it seems to be quite understandable. The Americans don't want their leader to be made fun of by the whole world when he mixes something up again, but some British people called it an insult to their country. However, if you remember the history, no American president has ever attended the coronation of an English monarch. Besides, Biden once mentioned his Irish roots and dislike for the English monarchy. Elizabeth is an exception, so his wife Jill will probably come to the coronation. At the same time, there are those who hope to get on the list of invitees to the coronation, but because of the reduction from 8,000 guests to 2,000, quite a few English aristocrats were left with a nose. Some of the king and queen's pals are furious that they have not yet received their invitation, said Daily Mail columnist Richard Eden. They find the wait excruciating. And for some it will end in humiliation. But it's unlikely we should expect an invitation yet, as Buckingham Palace has asked some guests to confirm their presence, or lack thereof, by Monday, which is today. The Sussexes remain silent, neither refusing nor accepting the invitation, and angering the palace even more. Meghan and Harry's arrival at the coronation is another reason for Charles to worry, since all the cameras and newspaper headlines will discuss is Prince Harry's pouty lip, and a smiling Meghan dressed in couture. If Harry and Meghan step forward in their finest outfits and with masks of equanimity on their faces, their presence in the royal milieu will be the only story people really care about, writes royal expert Daniela Elser. Sure, Charles's official coronation is a historic moment, but of the billions of eyes that will tune into the ceremony, how many will be at the 70-year proclamation of some old oath, and how many will be busy watching any Sussex, Welsh drama? Every blink, twitch and cough of both the Sussexes and the Prince and Princess of Wales will be scrutinized and analyzed. The palace is also worried about another possibility. What if Harry doesn't come after all and agrees to an offer from some TV channel to comment on the broadcast of the coronation? This would be worse than the appearance of the Sussexes in Westminster Abbey, for in this case the prince would have the opportunity to illuminate the traditions of the institution with his stern and unforgiving gaze. Besides the Sussexes, Charles has another cause for alarm. The Republicans are preparing new protests on Coronation Day, and are already recruiting participants for a large-scale anti-monarchist action on May 6. So, on the day of the ceremony, there will be a lot more people than usual lined up in front of Westminster Abbey with yellow, "Not My King," placards. Yeah, it's going to be an unpredictable show, and Archie's birthday is one of them. So let's stock up on popcorn and sunflower seeds and be patient.